we're going to sew some things. I've been trying to do this for a while, but my husband's working overnights, and this is like our shared computer room, and so he's in here a lot, and so I haven't really been able to live stream. But now he's in bed, so we're gonna live stream, and we have friends. Hi Ham, hi Deviled Egg. Rileyana is also here. Hi Rai. So, where were I? She knows that I'm about to start messing with catnip. She loves catnip. Well, oh, here's Giblet. Hi Giblets. So when I'm up here sewing, a lot of times they'll just kind of come up here and join me, and they'll hang out in this cute little bed, and it's adorable. So we're gonna sew. Now, I'm not gonna be able to see my screen unless I turn you around. Hold up. Let's try this. The front camera doesn't have as good of quality, but we'll see. We will see how this works. So I can at least look at the screen. Next time I'll bring, I have a tablet I can log into and set it so I can see comments, but alright, so Kelly sent me a bunch of cute fabrics, and I made some pillows out of the small squares. I use different things like ribbons. A favorite is feathers. They've already kind of chewed on this one some. I had to save it. I've done, no, let's see. This one's got little jingly bells. Okay, Kim. So, I got some big jingle bells, because they're going to be louder in these toys versus the tiny ones that I have. So we're going to work on those. I'm saving these fabrics for a different project. But it's harder, so I'll save that for a longer stream. I also have these larger squares of fabric, which will make good little kicker toys. Waiting to get some 12 by 12s, which will make even bigger kicker toys. Oh, here we go. And then I save these because I will put them inside the toys as crinkle paper. So, look at all these cute designs. I don't know. There we go. So, oh, that's cute. I like that. Oh, I like that too. These are so cute, Kelly. Thank you. Alright. Let's do these two. So, making kicker toys is super easy, because I just take this, fold it in half, inside out, we have to kind of look at the print. On this one it doesn't really matter which side is top or bottom, because they kind of go all different directions. So we'll make this the bottom. And then we just sew it. Just do it, lady. Alright, give a little seam allowance. Back stitch. Alright, we're gonna go here. You wouldn't wait till your needle's down. I did not, because, oops. Go back in. Yes. Right there. Thank you. And then it makes it much easier to turn. But then I move this excess out of the way. We can actually use this to cut it off. Just extra thread. So then we're gonna sew down this way. And then we leave the bottom open. My bottom's gonna run out soon, so I'm gonna have to reload another one. I have different pairs of scissors. These ones are for thread and cutting random things. This one's for fabric only. So I cut the corners like this, because it makes the corners look nicer once you flip it inside out. And then there's a little extra allowance here that I'm just going to trim off. And then we flip it inside out. Ta-da! And now we got to poke out the corners like so. And then we have a little kicker toy that's about this big. I don't know who messaged me. Why are you driving, Kelly? Where are you going? Don't text and drive, that's dangerous. So I have stuffing. I have a whole bag and then a whole box of stuffing. I have so much stuffing. So I'm going to stuff this. And then I have different kinds of catnip. So I had this kind, but that's not what's actually in here. I dumped a different one in here just because I like this container more. And then this one, so this one is just a catnip and silvervine mix. Yeah, I'm turning it off. Alright, so this one is a catnip silvervine mixture. And this one has catnip, silvervine, and valerian root. So catnip is genetic. Not all cats react to it, but some who don't react to catnip will react to valerian root or silvervine, or they're finding more and more things that cats like. But not all cats react, and most of the time they're not going to have a reaction until they're older, like 6 months to a year old. Rileyana didn't like catnip till she was almost a year old, and now she's obsessed. So we put a couple scoops in there, and then, like I said, I got these. I'm going to need more. I know I'm going to go out of these with all this fabric Kelly sent me, but adds a little jingle. You just stick it inside. These are so cute for the Christmas themed ones too. Then we have more stuffing. Stuff. Yeah. A little more. We'll do a little more catnip and a little more stuffing. And then, let's see, what do we want to put in the bottom? Do I have green of this? No. Do I have, nope, that's that. I do have green ribbon. We can do some ribbon. Little scissors for things that aren't fabric. So we just take the ribbon, I cut a piece off, and we're going to cut it in half. And then cut it in half again. Honestly, we could probably just fold it like this, and it would be cute. Yeah. So this is the tricky part. I get these ready here and make sure my thread's pulled out and ready. I get this ready. I kind of turn the ends in a little bit. And then kind of hold them shut. I'm going to stick it under the foot so the foot can hold this part down. And then we stick our ribbons in. This is where it gets a little more tricky. And then splay them out so that they are not just all in a row. And then we're going to start sewing while we hold everything down. I know it's hard to see from that angle. On the next one, maybe I can find a way to put you up above. Alright, wish me luck. Where's my foot pedal? There it is. Alright, hold up. Gotta fix the ribbons as I go because they kind of move around. I want it to look nice. What's happening? Oh, there we go. Alright. Gotta cut off the excess thread. So this didn't tuck all the way, so we're just going to cut this little excess off. And these are the fabric only scissors. I'm still learning, by the way, so don't judge me. Alright, that doesn't look too terrible. Looks better than not. Okay. Oh, my OCD can't take the threads. There we go. Alright. Now we have a toy with little ribbons. And it jingles. Here. I'm trying to show y'all these cute things. What's happening? Turn around, camera. There we go. Ta-da! Deviled Egg is always a fan of my toys. Ham's just sleepy. But he always wants to be where we are. So he's always like right here with us. Alright. We need to have a sewing party, Kim. I have so much fabric now. And I ordered more that's not Christmas themed, so I could do some Christmas, some not Christmas. And then I put a bunch more on my kitty cat wish list. I don't think I have the toy one in my description yet, but when I get done, I'll edit the description and add it in there. But I have fabrics. I'm going to add more bells. All the different fabrics and stuff. They're like 10 by 10s and 12 by 12 pieces. So that I don't have to cut. I just take a piece. Like I just did. I think these are 8 by 8s, so it turns into a 4 by 8 kicker toy, and And then figure out what we want top to be. This gingerbread man's up here, so that's going to be top. And then we sew it. It's that simple when you don't have to cut. So that's why I like the 8s, 8 by 8, 10 by 10, and 12 by 12 makes me 3 different size kickers for kittens to adults. And then a lot of these I plan to donate to the Humane Society, to Second Chance, to Bertha's Beans Cat Cafe, and then they'll have a bunch of toys for their kitties for the holidays. I was going to do, we do a fundraiser every year called Como Gives, and they used to do a peer-to-peer options where you could offer something for donations. So like last year I did you get to name a kitten. If you donate $50, you get to donate, you get to name a whole litter. If you do 25, you name a kitten. If you do 15, you get to name an adult cat. I did that last year. Well, this year they're not allowing anyone to do products, so sales of any kind, because the IRS are dicks. Despite the fact that we're personally not making money, just the rescue is. So I was hoping to use all this fabric to make toys for that and then sell them in like 5 or 10 packs and donate, people would donate. It goes directly to the fundraiser, which goes directly to the rescue, so I never see the money. They just donate to my specific peer-to-peer, and then I was going to make sets of toys and give them out. But yeah, they don't allow products anymore. So Second Chance is looking at doing something called a maker's market where people can just make a bunch of crafts and we can sell them to the people that want to buy them, and then the proceeds all go to Second Chance. So I'm hoping to save some of these for that, but that's probably going to be really close or right after Christmas. So I don't want everything to be Christmas themed. I want some not Christmas themed stuff too. Now that that's a thing. But these can still be made and donated. We've got a couple different kitty rescues that can play and use them. And I still plan to kind of save and keep some. And then if we do events throughout the year, I can sell some at those events for donations. And these are so easy. I almost forgot to backstitch because I was talking. But that's literally all it is you sew 2 lines, turn it inside out. Well, I usually, like I said, I'll cut the corners, but you don't have to. I'm just OCD. Yeah, that's a good idea. We're allowed to say that they get a surprise, but we're not allowed to say what. I wonder if I could say a cat-themed surprise. Or if that's too revealing. Because I don't want dog people getting cat toys if they don't have a cat. I'd feel bad. And these would not withstand dog anything. Because dogs like to rip stuff up. And this is just a basic cotton fabric. It's not like chew fabric or anything. And chew fabric is really hard to sew. The meshing would mess with needles, so you'd have to get specific needles, specific thread, specific more expensive money items. Catnip, a bell, more stuffing, and then let's do a little crinkle paper. So like I said, the packaging that these come in, or anything you get from like Temu or Amazon that come in these packages, I just cut them up and use it as crinkle paper. It's very crinkly. It's not like that normal Ziploc bag, like it's actual stiff cellophane, not thin cellophane, not Ziploc bag. So these came in a normal Ziploc bag. Like, this doesn't really crinkle the same. It's a normal Ziploc bag. This crinkles. So we'll stuff some of this in the end and then a little more fabric. Another thing that I will put in them are just normal kitty balls. for a lighter jingle. And then some of them I don't put anything in. Some cats prefer quiet toys. But they all get catnip. Because I don't know what cat's going to play with what. And most cats like catnip, and even if they don't, they still usually like the toy. So it doesn't matter as much. Alright, let's try and fold this in. Let's do this green ribbon. We're going to cut it in half and then cut it in half again. Or just fold it in half like this, like I did the other one. Alright, we get that kind of set aside. I really need to get some fabric glue because that would make these ends stay in while I'm sewing better, because they come out. And it just looks nicer when they're folded in because I'm OCD. Alright. Fold in. Stop it. Hold on, I gotta bedangle with it. If I really wanted to, I could put pins in it, but I don't want to do all that. I just want to stick it in there and go. Alright. I'm struggling, y'all. Real time struggling. Alright. I think we got it in there. What are you doing? There we go. What is happening, y'all? Are you caught? Alright. There we go. There we go. Then we cut off these little ends. Cut off these little ends. Little rattle ball. Now we got another toy. And you know, I'm still learning how to sew. This is going to give me a lot of practice. So they don't have to be perfect. Like this didn't fold. I didn't get the fold in the sewing, so it'll slowly come undone. But they're donations. It's okay. I'm learning. If I wanted to, I could leave it open and then just kind of cut the end and make it look nice that way. But, you know. You know. We're not gonna do that. This one, the pattern doesn't really matter because it's just, mind you, this is inside out. So. Do. So this fabric is like a, I don't know what kind of material this is, but it's a little bit harder to work with than straight cotton, but it's not impossible. And since it's such easy cuts that I'm doing, it's fine. No, why? Go back down. Nobody asked you. Alright. Just turn. Thanks. Alright, now make sure this is that way. And then what I normally do is, so I have that one, and I'll just do several like this. Let's see, this looks like a good top. And then I'll just do the next one and the next one, and then I'll get like 10 or so of them, and then I'll stuff them and do the ribbon part, and it goes by faster that way. You can also do what's called chain sewing, where you don't even cut the thread, you just keep going and going. So for chain sewing, I would just pull that out, grab the next one, and keep going. I don't even cut or split the thread or anything. I don't know if anyone said anything. Yeah. I shouldn't have waited so late to do this, but like I said, my husband's working overnights, so I'm kind of working off of his clock and when he's using this room. So, sorry guys if you can only watch the rewatch. Rewatch? Replay? However you say it. Words are hard. Words are hard. But see, they kind of hang off together from the thread, and then you go back and you cut them all apart. So you do everything in steps, like repetitive steps, and then it just kind of goes by a little faster. And depending on how I'm feeling, sometimes I'll do it this way, sometimes I do it one by one. It depends on my ADHD. Sometimes, like last night at 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up at 1:30 last night. I don't know why. But at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was like, I'm going to sew some toys. I wanted to kind of practice before I did a live stream, so I didn't look completely unskilled, because I haven't done it in a while. So I made, I don't know, 15 or so of those pillows. And then I tried to make a ball. That one's really hard, but I'm going to save that for a more popular live stream. I've made a couple of them. Sometimes they look okay, sometimes they look terrible. I'm still learning the whole sewing curves and stuff together, so that's a new adventure for me. I really like this. This is so cute. So Christmassy. So I've got this turned inside out, and then I would go and do the rest of them and just do it in steps like that. Turn this one inside out. These are so cute, Kelly. I love these. These little designs. See, these ones were kind of dark, and some of them it was really hard to see the patterns on, like this one. Like, you have to really look at it. It took me a moment to figure out what a couple of them were with my bad eyesight. But to be fair, I was not wearing my glasses this morning. I was just up here sewing with nothing. Oh, I gotta show you the bird one though, because it's my favorite. Oh, where is it? Here. Sorry guys. So this one has like little finches on this side. Look how cute they are. And then little cardinals on this side. And so I put little feathers on it. And it crinkles. I thought that was so cute. And then The little reindeers. I like deer. I love reindeers. Ever since I was a child, I was obsessed with reindeers, so reindeer anything is my favorite at Christmas time. Um, every year I ask Santa for to borrow Rudolph for a day. And he always had to told me he couldn't because Rudolph was tired. And I would cry because I wanted to borrow Rudolph and play with Rudolph. And so my mom took me one year to one of those things where they had like reindeer and stuff, like the real ones. And of course Rudolph was not there, but some of the other ones were, and I got to pet them, and that made me a very happy child. But red-nosed reindeers don't actually exist, but when you're a child, you don't know that. So I was very disappointed that it wasn't Rudolph, because I was weird. I was the weird kid, like Rudolph was. I got made fun of all the time. And Rudolph was my sole friend that I never got to meet growing up. I used to be so mad about it. Do. Another thing that I like to use, I think I have some green. This is the kitten's favorite, but it's a little more expensive, so I can't afford to get a bunch of it. Oh, there's no green. What other colors are on you? Red. Let's do some red. This is called Christmas wreath tubing or something. I don't know. It's a little more expensive, but they freaking love this stuff. They go crazy for it. So what am I to do? I can't ignore their love for this stuff, so I bought some. I just use it way more sparingly because it's expensive. And it's not really expensive. It's just expensive for me because, like, the bells were, this bag of bells was $7, $6, something like that. Some of these things of fabric, I'm able to get like 25 pieces for $12. The tubing, though, you only get a little bit for that price. I did one time find the pack with multiple colors on a deal, and that was a steal. But like I have this whole thing of blue, and I think it was like $15, and you still don't get a super ton of it. I'll have to look and see what they cost now, because that was also a couple years ago when I first got this. And I only ever looked at one place, so who knows? Maybe it's not as expensive anymore, or whatever. Oh, I need some fabric glue. Or just patience. Maybe pinning it is best. Ow, I poked myself. Alright. So we pinned that in place a little bit. These are a little hard to get in here because they like stretch and move and smash. So I just kind of have to shove it in, hold it down, do the other end. Oh my goodness. Okay. What, Rai? Oh, that's Barton. Look, guys. She's about to skippity-pap some kittens. What, Bart? Come here. Come here. Yeah, come on. Oh, sweet girl. She used to be so shy. All right. It's kind of hard to angle everything that way. And look, I let go, so I messed this up, but that's okay. Bart's worth it. She's a sweet girl. Except to other cats. She tolerates my adults, but she wants to skippity-pap some kittens. She does not like the babies. She's kind of funny. She's like, I'm the baby. You can't be the baby. Alright. This is going to look a little funny, but oh well. Here we go. This might work better. Duh, Christina, use your brain. Okay, you know what? We're just not going to worry about how pretty the seam looks because I just want to do this. We're just going to do it. Any old way we can. Alright, so we got these in there. I got it held down. Oh no. It's easier to do when they're already down. Okay. Pull this tight, put some under the foot, shove you back in there. Shove it. Stop being, oh my goodness, it attacked me, guys. Did you see that? Did you see that? Alright, you know what? We're going to sew this one in and then work on the other one. Alright, that one's in. Let's see if we can get this one in. Alright, looky there, I did it. Cut off the excess threads. Doo-doo-doo. Look at it. They love to chew on this, and it's pretty sturdy, so it doesn't come apart super easy. But if you ever got like those round spiral tunnels, this is kind of on the edges, but not circle. It's like a flat edge. And I don't know, the cats go crazy for it. I need to figure out how to get more of that. Oh my God, look. Oh, she realized I was zooming in on her and she quit playing with it. I have one of those toys right there. And she was playing with it. I don't know if you can see. I can't see the screen. Hi. Hi, Barty. What doing? Oh, pretty girl. Yeah. She thinks the tripod's scary. Old Giblet over here. And the computer desk that's messy. Rileyana's hissing at people. I have no idea if y'all can see any of that. Let me just bring it back around. But yeah. Right. If you're going to be mean, get out. We're not doing that today. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. I did that one so fast, I'm not even sure I put catnip in it. Normally I sit here and I'll listen to music. Sometimes I'll put something on YouTube behind me. I try to come in here and talk to William, but he's usually watching a scary movie and kicks me out because I don't like scary movies. They scare me. I don't like being scared. This is all my crafting stuff. Sorry, I'm crunching on some candy. Alright. So, I freaking love this. This is so cute. Alright. Let's just do some ribbon. That kind of matches. Okay. I hope this works. You be nice to Giblet. I see you eyeballing him. You butthole. She wants to play with them so bad, but she doesn't know them very well. Her and Boone, when those girls were in that room, they were little wild heathens. And it was so cute to watch them play. But Barton is rough, man. Those two would go at it. Like, they'd be playing and running. I'd find litter all over that room because they'd jump in and out of the litter box. They had toys all the way across the room. The big ones, the really big ones, they just drug everything everywhere. The bed would always end up by the gate. They'd always somehow get it by the gate so that they could watch and lay on it and watch the hallway when the dogs and other cats and stuff came. They were hilarious. Boone got adopted today at the cafe. So, she's been adopted. Oh, I got my new medical foster. I can't remember if I posted her on the community tabs page yet. I think I did, but I'll double check. Oops. Go back in the middle. Thanks. Thankies. Thanks. Alright, there we go. So I'm obviously also going to give these out to some people. I definitely want to give some to my neighbors. Were they behaving? Look at that. Tell me that's not adorable. Got a little jingle ball in it. So yeah, it's kind of late. I just wanted to do something because I haven't done anything in a while. Sleep well, Irma. And yes, thank you, Kelly. I know Kim's got to get to bed. I just wanted to do a little something, something. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Please ignore my husband's messy desk. But look at this cat. Bart, what are you doing? She says, I'm hanging out. What do you think? And then we got these pretty kitties. My Coco cat is currently playing with the tripod. So, oh, here, I want to show you something. Come with me. Hi, Coco kitten. He thinks that the feet are fascinating. Okay, what I wanted to show you is all of my drawers. So these are little pom-pom balls, but I have these I can tie ribbons to and string them along. I have these that I can put inside. The pom-pom balls, I thought about taking the ribbons and like super gluing pom-poms to it when I'm feeling a little more adventurous. These are feathers of different colors. I also got some peacock feathers. I trim them down so just the end would be out. Some bigger spotted feathers for bigger toys. These are different colored threads, but I typically just use black and white. I'm not switching threads out for every toy because I have felt that I can make shapes out of and stick in there. Sometimes I'll cut these and then cut strips and put them at the bottom of the toy. Pipe cleaners. These are the smaller bells, but I use like 4 of them at a time because they're not very loud. These are a bit louder, but I use them more sparingly. This is different kinds of strings, different stuff for crafting, and crinkle paper and some yarn. So, and this is the tubing that is my favorite. And then this is just miscellaneous stuff for my sewing machine. But yeah, this is the mess that is our craft room. Raeliana's playing with this toy right now. We're hanging out. Hi, guys. All right, guys. I'm going to let y'all go to bed. And I'm just going to sit up here and sew with the kitties. See you later. Bye.